Fairy Tale is back, and we start off where we left off with Erza meeting the vice captain of Fire and Flame, Wed. And the first thing he does, he just pulls out a flaming sword. Erza's completely surprised because he did this in the middle of town, but he doesn't care. He just wants to get the duel started. As a response, Erza transforms into her standard everyday armor and prepares herself for a fight. By the way, Wed hasn't said a single word so far, but he immediately just attacks Erza, and the two start crossing blades. They're pretty evenly matched until Erza's sword shatters. After that, she then immediately goes into her Flame Empress armor, which makes sense. He's a fire wizard, so any attacks he deals to her will be cut in half in her Flame Empress armor. Their sword fight continues, with the two of them now using fire as their primary weapon. They're once again still evenly matched, and this time Erza's swords don't shatter, because now they're reinforced to protect against magic. In fact, they are fire swords themselves. Wed does a giant sweeping attack that Erza dodges, and it just sets a boat behind her on fire. At that point, Erza's kind of just lost her patience with him. So, like I predicted, he knows Erza as a great swordsman. In fact, he considers her the greatest swordsman of Ishtar. She says that's not true. There are plenty of swordsmen just as strong as her, but he doesn't care about her being modest. All that matters to him is the fact that he's the strongest in his continent, and now he wants to fight her. Which, yeah, that makes sense. I predicted this 2 weeks ago, that he was a master swordsman and he just wanted to have a challenge. That just makes perfect sense. I mean, Erza has to be world famous at this point. I mean, she's known as the strongest female wizard in the strongest guild in all of Rare. Hell, the strongest guild in all of Ishtar. But yeah, Erza has no interest in knowing who's stronger. She's never cared about that. All she cares about is protecting her friends and being strong enough to do that. With that being said, it's not like Erza will ever back down from a fight. I don't think Erza's ever backed down from a fight. So she basically accepts his challenge and they continue. Unfortunately for us, we then cut away from the fight. I love Erza fights. They're always the most brutal. Instead, we move back to the bar with Gray's group. They're still trying to get the bartender to tell them all about Fire and Flame and where the castle is, but obviously he has no interest in this. He wants to keep them alive, and he's afraid that if they get involved with that dark guild, they're all gonna die. Which I don't blame the guy. I mean, he has no idea that they're members of Fairy Tale. In fact, he probably doesn't even know what Fairy Tale is. Wendy then realizes that Natsu hasn't come back yet, and not just that, but she actually starts to smell fire. There's a reason for that, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But she then rushes outside to see what's going on, and she's standing in the middle of a forest. Now, obviously, an illusion done by Raj, but that doesn't matter. The point is, Wendy's freaking out because the town's gone. She's in the middle of a forest. When she's looking around, she actually sees a grave, and it says Sakura Glory on it. This Sakura Glory, if you don't know, is the mother of Haru Glory, the main character of Rave Master. While Wendy's freaking out trying to find everyone, that's when a figure appears, a floating flower with a smile, also a character from Rave Master called Nakajiri. He's supposed to be completely stationary and stuck to a building wall, because he's literally a flower, but in this he has the ability to float and fly. Which, yeah, I know, makes sense. He's not the real Nakajiri from Rave Master. He's just an illusion that Raj created. And as you can imagine, Wendy's afraid of a talking, flying flower and starts to run away from it. We get to see Lucy's illusion, which is her floating in the middle of the sky. That's literally it. She's just like 10,000 feet in the air with the clouds just standing on air. And of course, she meets another Rave Master character, Griffin, who's a complete pervert in Rave Master, and his personality has not changed. He's also a complete pervert who just wants to grope Lucy. So once again, a Rave Master creature is now chasing after a Fairy Tale character. So we actually remove ourselves from the illusion out into the real world with Raj, and we see that he actually has a second ability with his illusion magic. The first ability is he just makes illusions around himself that are made from flames, but this second ability seems to be specifically targeting the mind of an individual. I say that because all three of them, Lucy, Wendy, and Gray, are covered in Raj's fire, so he's not just shaping his flames into the form of an illusion, he's actively hypnotized them with his flames, and they are seeing the illusions all on their own. That's how they can all see separate illusions. That's why one can be in a forest, the other can be in the sky. This is also why Wendy was able to smell fire, because she's literally engulfed in it right now. And the chapter ends off with us seeing Gray's illusion, and he is in the middle of the demon realm, a frozen demon realm, and he is now up against Hyene from Dead Rock, which is nice because if you know anything about the Dead Rock manga, seeing Hyene is it's a nice thing. Also, it makes sense that he's taking on Gray because they're both ice users. Unfortunately, Hyene's an illusion, so technically Gray is fighting nothing. Honestly, the one that will most likely be able to beat Raj's illusion will probably be Wendy, because she can literally smell his flames, and so she'll probably be be able to use her dragon senses to just overcome the illusion, just like Natsu. But hey, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up so you enjoy more fairy tale and other things. Thank you, and have a great day.